Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live, and once again we're here with Aran and Franklin Chandra, and today we're going to talk about hopefully saving money in the long run, maybe spending a little more up front, but fortification. And you've heard us talk about it on here before, and it's really something I think with insurance rates, Chandra, that people need to start checking into. Not only because down here, from what I've read on it and information you sent me, we already do a lot of the fortification. So it's not like you're having to change your whole home plans. We do a lot of the stuff. It's just the added stuff. And from what I've seen, it's mainly the roof area, talking about the underlayment and how many nails per, spacing on them and stuff. But let's talk about what it all entails. And I know it entails a lot of documentation.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, from our last show, we were talking about all the different private carriers that we were trying. Twilio was trying to get private carriers to carry
Right.
some of these houses, and really, going forward, I think the only way to really make that happen is to have an IBHS fortified home uh, cert designation, because those are going to give you a significant insurance discount for years to come. And there's three different levels. There's the gold level, which is the whole house. There's a silver level, which is the roof and the components, the windows, doors, siding, garage doors. And then there's the roof level only. And you get a tiered discount for each one.
Hmm.
So, I mean, if you have an existing home and you're like, well, I want to get some kind of discount, I got to re-roof anyway. Let's just do it to a fortified standard and make that happen. So, but yeah, the main difference, because we're already at a TDI standard, is really significant documentation and a little bit different methodology on how we do things. So there's two main components to the roof system. There's the nailing of the roof deck, which we have to use a ring shank nail, and we have a little bit tighter pattern. We're already nailing it anyway. We're already putting roof deck on it anyway. So it's really about the tightness of the pattern and the type of nail that we use. And then it's sealing that roof deck. We're going to make sure that if you're using a solid underlayment that's self-adhesive and it really seals all the gaps, that's perfectly
Hmm.
fine. Or if you're going to just use a regular asphalt underlayment, then you would have to put the tape on all those seams before you put that on.
And
And
that's to stop the wind from catching it,
well,
probably.
it's just no, it's really, they found that the water is the biggest expense. The
Oh,
water
really?
infiltration after the storm is the biggest expense that insurance companies have. So they were like, how can we prevent? Because who cares if the roof covering comes off as long as you're not getting water in your house, right?
Right.
Because then you can live in it and they don't have all the expense of repairing all the interior sheetrock, all the contents, the loss of use, the displacement, all that stuff. So if they can keep you in your home, even if they have to replace a shingle roof or a metal roof or whatever, you're not getting water penetrating into your house and just
Right.
destroying everything. That's the biggest cost savings for the insurance companies, and so that's where they wanted the focus, was to make sure that the sealed
Water
roof deck
stays
was
out.
part right. Water stays out. Water is so devastating. We all know this. Whether it's water coming in from the rain, water coming in from wind-driven rain, water coming, as a flood,
Right.
or wave action. We know that the water is really the most devastating part of
And
this
there's
whole
no
process.
shortcuts when you get water in your house.
There's no water will find a way to try to weasel its way in there. So we've got to stop it. But the heaviest lift, and the biggest problem that we have with people trying to do fortified is the documentation, because there is a heavy documentation component to that. The application process that we have to complete is very extreme. And we, we're out there doing windstorm inspections anyway, but it's even more than that. So we have to have buy-in from the contractor to do some of the documentation for us, and we give them access to a photo document online thing called
Portal.
Company Can. Yeah, they take their photos, it geotags them, it stamp and dates them, and so we can see exactly when, where, what it is, and we can make sure that that gets put into the application portal. So we try to make it as easy as possible, and we do catch a lot of things on our own, and we give them like milestones of, hey, we need to see this drip edge, we need to see it nailed this
Mhm.
certain way, we need to see your underlayment, we need to see it installed a certain way, and we need to see photos with measurements of everything and in certain
Mhm.
different parts of the roof. So we try really hard to make it as easy as possible, and we have one single person that is dedicated solely to coordinating all the fortified paperwork and projects and inspections so that we make sure that we capture everything. There's also some documentation that the contractor has to sign, and we make it as easy as possible. We fill it all out for you. We just like review this, make any tweaks or
Mhm.
changes, and then sign it. And we do it electronic signature, so you don't even have to find a printer. You just say,
Right.
push the button, good. So we try to make it as easy as possible, but there is still a lot of documentation, a lot of paperwork. But let me tell you, if you're saving 50% on your insurance, and
Yeah.
not just your wind insurance, your whole policy, you're going to get a better policy with a lower deductible all the way across the board. It's pretty significant. I've seen people that have been quoted like 20, $30,000 down to $5,000 or $6,000. So it's a lot of
Yeah.
money, and you don't get that savings just one year. You get that savings
Every year.
every single year. Exactly. So
Do y'all
it's
offer just, we're talking about the documentation and what the contractor has to do. Is there someone that they can pay to make sure that they come over and take the pictures? You know, a lot of these contractors are running 90 miles an hour in 4 different directions. If people want to pay extra, can they say, hey, we want y'all to take the photos and make sure everything's perfect? You know, tell us when we need to call you so that
yeah.
they don't have to rely on a contractor, or are there
Well,
companies out there that do it?
that we can do a heavier documentation and lift for customers if they really want us to do that. The
Okay.
biggest problem, well, the good news is that we have a full-time inspector in Bolivar, and we have one in High Island that serves kind of the Jefferson County area. So we
Hmm.
have two that are right there, and so we can usually accommodate a schedule without delaying the
Right.
progress.
Anything.
But we have to, the problem is they've got to start with that phone call. They got to send us an
Right.
email. They have to tell us, because I don't know when your project's starting. I don't know when you're going to be putting that roof on unless you tell me. So I can't be there to help you. So there has to be some communication, and
Right.
that's usually where things fall off, because the GC thinks that the sub's going to call, the sub thinks the GC is going to call, and nobody calls, and then
Right.
nobody's documenting anything, and then we're like, how do we fix this?
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay. Um, do y'all have a spot on your website about fortification, or what's the best way? And this isn't just a Texas thing. This is a national
No,
thing.
this is a national program. There's several areas. There's a hurricane designation. There's a high wind and hail designation. There's a wildfire. There's different hazards that IBHS does fortified on, and our focus is of course the hurricane, because
Right.
that's the most severe condition of where we live. And so we follow all the IBHS Fortified Gold Hurricane Standard, and it's nationwide. I mean, Alabama is huge. Mississippi, they have actually legislatively mandated insurance discounts, and I think that's where Texas is probably moving. I mean, most of the companies have a discount and honor a discount, but they're not legislatively mandated. But in Alabama, they are legislatively mandated. They say, if you do this, you will get that. So it's
Right.
awesome. So that's why they have the highest number of designations in Alabama than the whole country, is because we got
Of
the
the
legislator
discount.
behind it.
And this
Yeah,
is getting more popular in Texas, isn't it? From
it
what I'm
definitely is.
understanding.
Yeah, they put out a little map this last week to show, where the designations were. And I mean, I can tell you, like 5 years ago, it was like a few little dots on the map.
Wow.
That's it. But now it's like areas of concentration. We're seeing more
Good.
and more. And I would say we probably do the most in Texas right now. We do a lot down in the Corpus and Rockport area. We've been doing a lot of fortified houses since Hurricane Harvey. Everybody after Hurricane Harvey's like, forget it. We're not doing this anymore. We want the strongest house we can get, and they're going back with fortified.
Right. Great. Great. Well, if people want to get some more information on this, how can they get hold of Aaron and Franklin, or go get to your website?
So you just go to aranfranklin.com, ARAN Franklin.com, and there is a Fortified tab on our website. It'll tell you everything you want to know, probably more about Fortified.
Right. Great. And then they can always email you for more information or to talk to someone about engineering and stuff on homes, because you're really a
Absolutely.
one-stop shop. From the time they buy, you can do the drainage on property, you
Yeah.
can do the
From the
home
time they have
design.
dirt. Yeah, from
Yeah,
the time they have dirt, we can help with the architecturals, the engineering, the windstorm, the inspection, the fortified. We can do their drainage plan. We can even develop their subdivision for them. Whatever they want to do, we can help them with. But we
great,
know
great.
somebody that can, one or the other.
Thanks for joining us today, and it's always a pleasure talking about engineering or TWIA or whatever we talk about. So we're going to head on out. We'll be back next week with another one from Aran and Franklin, and I want to thank Aran and Franklin for their part in the Bolivar community, the rebuild after Ike, and everything they do over here, putting back in the community. So we're going to head on out. Hope you enjoyed the show. Until next time. I'm David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye-bye.